千里之行，始于足下. A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together.
This story comes from the Tao of happiness. And the story is part of what I call travel advisories in the journey of life. So it belongs in the section called exactly that from the book, The Tao of Happiness. And the story goes like this. So once upon a time, in ancient China, there was a royal envoy that came to a village. And the purpose of the envoy was to look for someone who lived in that village, and that was Zhuangzi. When the envoy found Zhuangzi, he bowed and he said, "Master, I bring greetings from His Majesty, King Wei of the Chu Kingdom. The king is a great admirer of yours and would like to offer you an invitation." So Zhuangzi knew what this meant. Zhuangzi knew that the envoy wanted to express that the king has heard of the work that Zhuangzi has done, knew that Zhuangzi was a great sage. It's like when we say, "I'm a big fan." And when the envoy said, "The king would like to offer you an invitation," that would be just another way to say the king would like to give you a job offer. So Zhuangzi smiled and said nothing, and the envoy continued. He said, "His Majesty has great plans for the kingdom and needs a sage like yourself as his royal minister. This is a position of tremendous power, as I'm sure you are aware, Master. As a result of having a position like this, you can expect to live in luxury and comfort at the palace, and you will have nothing but the finest clothing and food, and everyone must bow down to you with the greatest respect, because you will represent His Majesty in everything you say and do. You are the stand-in or the proxy for the king." So pretty much anyone from that time in history would jump at the chance, would regard this as the incredible opportunity of a lifetime. So the envoy thought it would be the same with Zhuangzi. The envoy thought Zhuangzi would be excited. But Zhuangzi did not seem particularly impressed. So instead, as calm as ever, he asked this envoy, "Have you ever seen the cow that is prepared for sacrifice? The annual festival is coming, so the cow must be prepared. In preparation, what the peasants do is that they drape this beautiful ceremonial cloth over the cow. And to ensure that the cow is properly fattened, they feed it the finest feed. They feed it as much as it wants. So when the time comes for the annual celebration, the annual festival, they lead it to the temple for the ritual. As they do that, passing through the village, all the villagers in sight kneel down and pray to the sacrificial cow for good luck. Have you ever seen it?" So This question was unexpected to the envoy because it was completely unconnected to the job that he was there to do, which was to relay the message from the king to the sage. So unexpected and surprising, the envoy just nodded in response. So Zhuangzi continued, when the cow is about to be slaughtered for the ritual, do you think it wants to be there? If you were in the cow's position and aware what's going to happen, would you not rather exchange places with the calves out in the field? So carefree, just grazing? Wouldn't you want that? The envoy said, well, that's kind of a no-brainer. Of course I would, master. I would not want to be slaughtered. I would rather be out in the field, grazing, relaxing, without a care in the world. So then Zhuangzi says, you would exchange places with the calves out in the field, even if that means giving up the finest clothing, the cloth they drape over you, and the finest food, as well as the respect of all the people who bow down to you. So what if you have to give all that up to avoid being slaughtered? So the envoy finally understood what Zhuangzi was trying to say. So Zhuangzi smiled again. He said, I think you know my answer now. Please convey my gratitude to His Majesty for thinking of me. The end. So that's the story from Zhuangzi, and I think that it has some points in similarity to what we're talking about here, which is why I brought up that social media thing. Again, it's to reflect on this particular story. So we know that in our society, it's not uncommon for high achievers to neglect their health and relationships. So in public, they appear to be similar to the royal minister, that they enjoy all the good things in life and they command everyone else, but privately, they may feel more like the sacrificial cow because they have sacrificed their health and relationships. So I want to make sure we all get the symbolic significance of the different elements in this story. It's all about the temptations that we chase after. So for instance, the blanket to cover the cow is the material things that we desire. The feed for the cow, the top quality feed, it's the physical pleasures that we seek, including good food and luxuries. The praying of the villagers to the cow, that represents the attention we crave. And so now you see why I talk about seeking attention, taking pictures of vacation, taking pictures of food, wanting to show off your relationships, stuff like that. Because we all do this. It's human nature from ancient times to modern times. So the message from Zhuangzi is that these attractive things, luxuries, vacations, food, etc., carried to an extreme, can lead us down a path of destruction. You see, the festival may be a celebration for the villagers, but for the cow, it's the end of the road. So I want to single out the elements from the story to reiterate and emphasize. The cow has beautiful ceremonial cloth over it. The minister wears the finest clothes in accordance with his position. There's the correspondence. The cow feasts on top quality feed as much as it wants. The minister lives in the palace and dines on the finest foods. The peasants kneel before the cow and pray to it for good luck. And in a similar way, everyone must bow down to the minister in deference to the man who represents the king. now the negative consequences of this kind of ego-driven pursuit. The cow has no choice but to be led to the slaughter for the annual festival. For the minister, well, the minister has to take the blame for everything that upsets the king. So we are the minister, or we are the people who are approached by the envoy for this incredible opportunity to be the minister. And the minister represents the pursuit of desires. So all of us pursue not just clothes, but material things that signal wealth. We all indulge in not just eating, but all physical pleasures. And we also seek fame plus approval, validation, and recognition of others. So in the proper proportion, these can all be life-affirming. These can all be very good things. These can all be very positive. They contribute to the joy in life. But in extreme, in excess, they cause us to end up neglecting more important things in life, like health and family. So that is the message from 24, and it's also the message from Zhuangzi. And that's one of the ways that I know that we're on the right track, because we're talking about the Tao from different sages, and in different ways, they're saying the same thing.
Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Let us travel safely. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.